I'm here to tell you that there is a technology to happiness that we have known as humanity for 7,000 years, right? But then when it's spoken to us in the modern world, we don't get it, right? When you look at it from an engineer's point of view, you realize a few things that are very different. Let me tell you just a few glimpses of what this is about. Number one, happiness is highly predictable. As a matter of fact, I base my book on an equation, right? A mathematical equation that tells you that your happiness is equal to or greater than the difference between the events of your life and your expectation of how life should behave. As your brain constantly tries to keep you safe, your brain solves this equation sometimes up to 60,000 times a day. And when it solves that equation, if it finds something that is threatening to your survival, your brain will alert you in the form of an emotion. Okay? That emotion will be unhappiness, will be sad, will be, fear, anxiety, it will be shame, it will be guilt, whatever that is. In that sense, your unhappiness truly is just a survival mechanism. Right? The reality of the internet is if it doesn't reach 1 billion people or 1 billion clicks or 1 billion views or 1 billion likes or whatever that is, then you're probably not doing what you have to do to spread the message. But most importantly, this is a target that is so timely, our world depends on it. And I may not be able to go into the details of this. But please understand me. We have developed a value system in our universe, in our humanity, 75 years ago, post-World War II and post the Great Depression, that is entirely around individualism, greed, competition, and sometimes violence, right? We are debating everything, we're calling everyone an idiot if they disagree with us, and we're calling this freedom of expression. And the reality is, this value system, greed, competition, wanting to make more money, has taken us so far. I don't blame it for anything. But I promise you, it will not take us into the next generation. It will not take us into a world where the machines are doing our work. Okay? If we continue to make greed, to make competitiveness, to make an individual approach to life our value system, I guarantee you, all of us as humanity will suffer. Because we're not prioritizing our own happiness, we're not reaching it. Imagine what it will be like in the next 20, 25 years. It's about time, and by the way, it's not even about that. Ask yourself, has the promise been delivered? You go out, you work hard every day, you get stuck in traffic. Thank you all for coming all the way to today in traffic. And you do so much effort every day. Ask yourself, is the promise really delivered? Are you happy every day? Isn't this what it's all about? And I can see an avalanche of people when I talk to them and I tell them that happiness is within your hands. They say, where have you been? I've been waiting for this. They promised me 25 years ago, I will find it when I'm successful. Now you're telling me I didn't need to be successful to find it? So this mission, in my personal view, is a mission that we have to strive for as humanity. Okay? It's definitely not a mission I can achieve alone. So here's the bad news. If you let me run behind this on my own, consider it a failure. I cannot achieve 1 billion people. The only way I can achieve 1 billion people is if you participate. And here is the incredible thing about the new age that we live in. There is no longer going to be impact on the world that just happens by one person anymore. If you look at things like the Arab Spring, like the elections of Donald Trump, like Brexit, like all of that, the massive changes in our universe from now on are going to happen because each of you will make a choice. If each of us makes a choice to prioritize our own happiness and to have the compassion in us to share it forward, our whole world will change. As a matter of fact, I've done the math. If we do a very simple exponential function, if each of us tells 2 people, who will tell 2 people, who will tell 2 people, the entire Netherlands would be reached within 3.5 years. 1 billion happy target around the world will be reached in 5. It's really not that complicated. If we get to 1 billion happy people on the internet today, our whole content online will change because we're producing more content every year than all of the content we produced from the dawn of humanity until the beginning of that year. We can make that change.